Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, October 21st meeting of the Springfield Planning Board. Bill, if you would do the roll call, please.
Mr. Cunningham?
Here.
Mr. Minio?
Here.
Mr. Daniele?
Here.
Ms. Moran?
Here.
Ms. DiFilippo?
Here.
Mr. Florian?
Here.
Ms. McQuaid?
Here.
And Ms. Choi absent. We do have a quorum.
Okay. We have minutes to accept from September 16th, 2020. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Make a motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded. All those in, we have to do roll call.
Yeah, I would do a roll call. Voting in favor of approving the minutes, Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Minio?
Yes.
Mr. Daniele?
Yes.
Ms. Moran?
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Florian?
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid?
Yes.
Ms. Choi absent.
Okay.
Bill? I'm sorry, quick question. Do you want me to stop by at some point and sign all these minutes or?
Yeah, well, I'll figure that out. I'll work with Kathy to see how we get that done.
Okay, let me know.
Not a huge rush. Gloria, just as I mentioned previously, just for folks who may be watching the meetings for the first time, just to let everyone know that due to the Zoom requirements, this is a 2-meeting process. The planning board will hear items at one meeting, and then to allow the general public to make comments, the particular item will be continued and then voted at the subsequent planning board hearing. With regards to one of the items tonight, for the folks that may be watching, I was hoping to take under public hearings the preliminary subdivision for Whispering Brook Estates out of order. Just so the board is aware, I think I sent you the letter. The engineers and the developer for this particular parcel are in the process of making some changes to the plans to address some of the concerns that were raised when the plan was originally submitted by the Department of Public Works. They have not gotten those in time for this meeting, so they have requested that this particular item be continued until I think this is right now, the November 4th hearing. So if I could just get a motion from the board to continue this.
Motion to continue the preliminary subdivision plans for Whispering Brook Estates.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Voting in favor to continue, Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio,
Yes.
Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran,
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
Ms. Choi absent. Okay.
Okay, Phil, if you will.
Yeah, back to the agenda under public hearings continued, a special permit for the location of 733 East Columbus Avenue for the installation of an additional ground sign. The petitioner is Police MZ Inc. Just so the board is aware, I have not received any additional comments regarding this particular item. I know Attorney Brown is here. I don't know if the board has any additional questions, but
Does anybody on the board have any additional questions?
None for me.
Okay, if there are none, I will accept a motion regarding this petition.
I'll make a motion to approve with the following conditions. This special permit is granted to this petitioner only. Number 2, this special permit is granted solely for the installation of one additional ground sign at the property known as 733 East Columbus Avenue. Number 3, the use shall be developed in accordance to the attached site plans and elevations with the addition of conditions number 4 through number 5. Number 4, the sign permit shall be obtained through the building department prior to installation. Number 5, there shall be no other ground signs located on this property. Number 6, compliance with these conditions as well as any and all zoning regulations is required. Failure to comply may result in the denial of the issuance of a building permit and/or occupancy permit, revocation of any permits issued and/or enforcement by the Code Enforcement Department, punishable by fines of up to $200 per day for each day a violation exists. The approval criteria: number 1, the sign is consistent with the intent and purpose of Article 9. Number 2, the sign is consistent with the character and use of the area and with the zoning district in which it is erected. Number 3, the sign is appropriate in scale and proportion in its design and in its visual relationship to buildings in the area in its general surrounding. And number 4, the planning staff analysis shall be incorporated into the decision as one of the bases for approval.
Before we get a second on that, in listening to the conditions, I just want to clarify for condition number 5 that there actually are going to be 2 ground signs. There's the pole sign, and then this is for the additional sign, so that I may have to modify that condition just to be a little clearer that it's not just this sign we're approving. But
Okay.
Thank you, Phil.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Rico. Phil, if you do roll call.
yeah, voting to approve the special permit for 733 East Columbus Avenue. Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio,
Yes.
Mr. Daniele,
Yes.
Ms. Moran,
Yes.
Ms. DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Ms. McQuaid,
Yes.
and Ms. Choi absent. Motion approved.
Okay, Phil, if you would bring forth the next petition.
Thank you all very much. You're a pleasure to work with.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, under public hearings, new, a special permit, a dimensional request, the address of 30 Victoria Marie Lane. The request is for a reduction of a side yard setback. Petitioner Lillian and Kristen Rodriguez.
Good evening. For the record, Sophia Bitsis from R. Levitt Associates here with Bob Goyette of Heritage Homes. If through the chair, may I request to share my screen?
Go ahead.
All right. Bear with me here one moment. Hopefully this will work okay. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So as Phil stated, the petition before you is on behalf of the owners and applicants Lillian and Christian Rodriguez of 30 Victoria Marie Lane, seeking dimensional variation relief for a side setback. If I may switch to the plan. Here is the property in question. The proposal is for an addition of approximately 370 square feet. It's about 14.5 feet by 26.5 feet. The area of relief is right in this area here. The required setback is currently 10 feet, and we are requesting to be 6.5 feet from the property line. It is just for the addition of an additional bedroom to a single family home. So nothing too crazy.
And who's behind the house, please, Sophia?
Who is behind the
What
house?
is behind the house?
Right here, it looks like there's a pool deck and a pool.
Okay,
I can zoom in maybe a little bit.
and at the property line?
On this side, it looks like there's a fence that runs along the property line right now, a stockade fence.
Okay, and that won't have to be removed.
It will not. It'll just currently, there's 18.5 feet to the side yard, and it'll go down to 6.5 with the proposed addition right in this dark area here.
Have they talked to the neighbors? Have we gotten anything from the neighbors?
I believe they have discussed it with the neighbors. I don't believe we've had any concern about it.
I mean, I just so the board is aware, I did receive a voicemail from a neighbor who's on Forest Hills, but I think we clarified that. I think he thought this was a property that abutted his, but it actually doesn't. The house next door, which I think is, I forget the number of that, abutted his property. So he's not looking for the variance. And also I did receive an email from an owner of a property at 122 Forest Hill Road indicating it's a Juan F. Latore, who is indicating that they are in support of the proposed special permit.
Okay,
Those were the only, I have not received any other comments.
all right.
This is Bob Goyette. I know the owners did walk the neighborhood and asked each one of the neighbors, and they were all in favor of it.
Okay, thank you.
They're very welcome.
And just again, as I note in my analysis, this is a kind of a relatively new development. So the side yard of this house is actually kind of almost facing the rear yard of the house next door. The house is actually about 30 feet to the east of this house. So it's not a typical where the house would be directly, in the same line as the one. It actually faces, the front of the house faces kind of perpendicular to this particular property. So it's kind of an odd layout. So
There's a big buffer zone in other words.
yeah, it does. This addition doesn't bring it any closer to the house next door.
Okay, and I see this is the Outer Belt Civic Association. Has anyone spoken to them?
I notify them, but I don't believe. I did speak to Walter directly on this because he had seen the agenda, but he did not, to me, raise any concerns.
Okay. All right.
And
Do any
with
of
the
the
fence staying, I mean, the privacy continues, the same privacy.
Right.
Correct.
Any board members have any questions? If there are no other questions, I will accept a motion to continue the hearing.
I'll make a motion to continue the hearing.
Is there a
Second,
second? Thank you. Phil, if you would do roll call, please.
Voting to continue the special permit for 30 Victoria Marie Lane. Mr. Cunningham,
Yes.
Mr. Minio,
Yes.
Mr. Daniele,
yes.
Miss Moore,
Yes.
Miss DiFilippo,
Yes.
Mr. Florian,
Yes.
Miss McQuaid,
Yes.
and Miss Choi is F. So this will be continued to the November 4th hearing.
Great. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so this is a quickie. I just have a couple of A&R plans that I'm just going to see if I can bring up here.
Hey, we're still doing good on time, even though it's a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. So I think we may have done this one before, but I can't remember. This is on St. Lawrence. It's 4 parcels currently, and they're creating one parcel with the house on it, and then the adjacent parcel is being combined into one lot. I think they're doing that so it's not buildable. I think their ultimate goal is to give Conservation Commission. I'm not sure Conservation will take it, but again,
Say that again, Phil, I didn't hear you.
I said, I think their ultimate goal of this lot that's over here is to give it to the Conservation Commission, but I'm not sure whether
Okay.
they'll accept it or not, but it's basically 4 lots going to 2. I can zoom in if it's, here's the lot lines here, one here and then one here. So that'll be removed and that'll be removed. It just becomes 2 lots.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any nays? Nope. Okay.
Bill, where is St. Lawrence Ave?
Van Horn Park.
Where?
It abuts Van Horn Park. It's a
Oh,
dead
all right.
street.
Okay.
And I think you can see kind of the note up here, Van Horn Park.
Oh, okay. I couldn't read it. Now I can. Yes.
It runs perpendicular to Connecticut Avenue, I guess.
Okay.
The next one, just zoom in here, is Levitt Street. Again, it's 2 parcels. They're removing the lot line down the middle to make it into one.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Let me just hold on one second. Oh, this is on Bay Street. It's currently a vacant lot. And as you can, I don't know if you can see the dotted line, but there's kind of a pork chop lot, and then the lot in front. I believe the lot in back was owned by the city. It was taken through tax title, so they're now just removing this line here,
Oh, I see it.
making
Okay.
it all one lot.
Oh, there we go. Okay, move to approve.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I think that's it. So I think that the next meeting is going to be the subdivision. So I kind of surprised I haven't gotten more comments already, but I think that may be a little contentious just because this particular development's got a number of hoops it's got to go through. It's actually crossing some wetlands, and it's got some issues coming in off of Allen Street. So I'm hoping I get the revised plans and we can move forward with that. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I forgot it. I think hold on one second. It's just hitting me now that there is one more. Uh-oh. Can you still hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hold on, just one second. I missed one A&R plan. Sorry about that. I could probably just describe it. Well, my computer's running slow.
We're not going anywhere. This was so
Well,
short.
No, I don't want to pull folks up. All right, one second. If it doesn't come up, I'll just.
Why don't you, do you remember what it is?
Yeah, it's Juliet Street, which is off of Allen Street. It's where that new.
Yeah, they're doing a new subdivision there.
So one of the existing properties that faces Allen Street actually has two lots behind it that were never developed because there was never water and sewer on Juliet Street. Now that the owner has, the water and sewer have now gone down Juliet Street, it's going to be paved. So this particular homeowner is now taking advantage of that and is reconfiguring the lot in which his house is located. And then he's going to create one additional building lot out of the two non-conforming lots that are on Juliet Street that are currently vacant and would not have been buildable for not the fact that this new subdivision is going in. So
All right.
So he's cutting off a piece and joining a piece.
Well, like I said, he's got his house, and then behind his house, he's got two non-conforming lots.
Right.
He's kind of reconfiguring the lot his house on and then creating a 75 by 100 square foot lot, which would allow for him to sell and someone to build a house.
All right.
Bill, and
Anybody
you
have any
said all of
questions?
What was that, Rico?
I was going to say, all of Julia Street will be paved?
Yeah, Juliet Street as part of this development at the end is now going to be paved. And as part of that process, they had to bring sewer and water in to get to those houses. So
Very good.
Move to
Okay.
approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay, thank you. Oh, a motion to adjourn.
None.
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion to second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
Everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Be
Good
safe.
night.